Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Today is my fourth video for Saturday morning makes, and just brace yourself. It's a long one. Let me encourage you to stop and start or come back as you need to, but I hope that you'll watch the whole thing. It's a lot of fun. Most of the time I'm going to be focusing on these tags and those cute little coffee cups. Hello everybody, and welcome to Saturday morning makes. This is going up a little bit later in the day than Saturday morning, but we're on Saturday nonetheless. Here is the hashtag #SatMornMakes. If you use that, just type it as is, all one word. You will pull up a playlist for everybody participating in all the fun different projects for Saturday morning makes. Now, as I've said in the past, Saturday morning makes is, I'll call it a hop or an event, for lack of a better word. It was created by the sweet Miss Jillian Norwood of Greenwood Girl Cards, and so you want to make sure that you check her out for sure. Try to make sure to link her downstairs, but she just wanted us to be able to have a safe space to kind of share our art, share our creativity, and connect, really, I think is the bottom line. Said, here are a couple of cards that I made actually for Whimsy Stamps. I made them this week for Whimsy Stamps, but I really just wanted to show them to you here. Now, we started out with this fun new die set. It was just if my lips would work, recently released over at Whimsy. It is called the Frosty Glass die set. And so let me just have one on screen at a time. So this is a shaker. So I used both dies together. I hadn't taken them apart yet. And then I cut out the inside, which is what created this frame. And then it also cut out this particular glass, this one, and that's what I used to make that frosty glass. So, and then there are 3 different foamy pieces, and then this one is this piece, and that essentially is the reflection, and this is a reflection as well, and you can arrange them however you so choose. So I did some ink blending on this one. I used fossilized amber and wild honey as the main colors on the background, and then I came in around the edges with some rusty hinge and some aged mahogany, and I think that background turned out really nice. It looks like a glass of beer, and it has some splatters. I just used some of the ink that was already down. I used it to splatter, and then I also used some of this Amsterdam Acrylic. This is just white ink, titanium white. Got it from Hobby Lobby. This makes beautiful splatters. There are lots of different ways that you can make white splatters, right? So don't feel like you have to have that. But it was really fairly simple. And then you create your shaker well by using double-sided foam tape. Before you do that, you have to adhere your acetate to your frame to create your shaker well. Well, this creates your shaker window. The foam tape is what creates the shaker well. And then for me, I flip it over, and then I put in my sparkly bits, which in this case are Butterscotch Sparkle and Copper. These are metallic confetti, and these are both from This Calls for Confetti. In fact, I will be showing you one of my containers of This Calls for Confetti here in a little bit, but these are the 2 that we used in here. I thought it was very pretty, and you know, who thought a glass of beer would be pretty? For this background, I don't know how well you can see, but it is embossed. I have a couple different shades of ink. I have the new Lost Shadow on there, but I also have just some fossilized amber. I used sprays, and what I used to create that particular background is this embossing folder. This is again from Whimsy. It is called just simply Daisies, and it's a 2D, but it's so cute. I love this tiny little daisy motif. I think it's adorable, and I ran it through a couple times, and I sprayed the inks directly onto my folder. So I love that effect. It's kind of mottled, but I really like that look. So had a good time with that. And then this sentiment says Happy Birthday. It's right here. This is from the Brewskis stamp set, again from Whimsy. Pretty much all of these are new releases, at least the beer themed things. This embossing folder is not. It's been out for at least a year, maybe even a little longer. Now let me pull in this other card, because again, what I did is I used this excess piece that was cut out when I got this frame, and then I had all kinds of ink down on my work surface, so I just sprayed it, and after I did my splatter here, I just literally did ink smushing to create this background. And then I did go along one edge with Rusty Hinge. So I just did a little bit of ink blending around this one side, and then I splattered again. But it already had such a pretty mottled look, almost like, you know, how a frosted glass of beer looks as it comes fresh out of the tap. Yeah, I thought it was really pretty. And then again, I did some splatter, and I added these little glass light reflections, I think is what they're supposed to be, as well as a foam. And then I cut out this larger of the two just in white, and that created the frame. And again, in either case, this is the die that creates the glass, this is the die that creates the beverage, if that makes sense. And then this stamp that says life is beautiful is this one right here. Very cute stamp sets on here. It says it's beer o'clock, let's get crafty, like a craft beer. I thought that was super cute. Bring on the brewskis, of course they're clinking. Another beer older, another beer wiser, to beer or not to beer. And then cheers, beers, and many more years, and then beer. I think they're really cute. And on the back of this one, you can see I just used a piece of black, and I kind of free-handed that little arch there. But on the back, I didn't want just the black, I wanted a little bit more something. So I don't know if you can see that. That's embossed as well. And that is embossed with using this, I think it's called Diagonal Dots, yes. Diagonal Dots, another embossing folder, slimline embossing folder from Whimsy. But I think they're both just super sweet, and you can see that I did a little bit of ink blending along the bottom of the foams. Now, instead of beer, you can create, gosh, anything you want. I've seen people doing like adult hot chocolate, milkshakes, all different kinds of things, and it's just super, super fun. So this would be whipped cream of some sort instead of beer foam, but really, really cute. So I really wanted to share those with you guys here today. I thought they were fun, and I know someone will appreciate them. So next is another one actually that I did for Whimsy, and I have a video up on this one, and I used the vintage watercolor that I learned from Miss Anna White. Again, I'm still struggling with it, but I'm going to persevere. I made a list of 10 tips, not just to share with y'all, but for me to follow. And hopefully I'll have a better outcome next time, but I feel like I was able to salvage this. It's a big 5x7 card. I used this big, beautiful, big Bumble stamp from Whimsy, and I think it's super, super pretty. I stamped it in, I think it was Vintage Photo Oxide ink, and I did it a couple times, and then I went around some of the edges with this Elegant Writer pen. And again, I learned this from Anna White, and she learned it from Split Coast Stampers, and it's called the Vintage Watercolor. So I'm not going to go into all of those details. I will link to my video as well as to one of Anna's, and if I can find again the one at Split Coast Stamper, I will link to that one as well, and you can see what it was supposed to look like. I feel like I salvaged it. Does it look like what I intended when I started? Absolutely not, but do I love it anyway? Absolutely. So that is from Whimsy. I used some deckled edge scissors to just cut it out along the edge of the stamp, and then the Sweet and Friend are both individual word dies from Whimsy. Just this little bit of pretty, it has this gold, like a foiled thread through the ribbon, and I think that's really pretty. So kind of fall-like, kind of summery. I don't know, I just think it's really pretty. So that is that one. And if you have not done the vintage watercolor, or if you've not looked at it or learned about it, I encourage you to look at it. It's a beautiful, beautiful technique, and I'm so glad that I learned about it. And what it does is it kind of uses the properties of the Elegant Writer as well as the reactability of the oxide ink, and then they kind of merge together and blend to make these beautiful, beautiful colors and shades, and just the way they bleed out is amazing. Now next is this pretty card. There's actually a hop going on for Whimsy Stamps right now. I made this one. The hop went live. This is Saturday. The hop went live yesterday. And I will try to link to this as well, because this hop is it allows you to become eligible to make or to earn a $100 gift card from Whimsy Stamps. So started out with this beautiful Enjoy the Little Things stamp set. I think everything on here is beautiful. The sentiments are gorgeous, but I just used this poppy as well as excuse me, this little cluster. You can see that I kind of turned it and I stamped it down, and then I watercolored with these Gansai Tambi. This I think is a 36 pan set, and they're beautiful. They're relatively new to me. I think I've only used them a couple of times, and I just love the way that they work. They're so pretty. And I kind of had a hard time figuring out how to use this die. This die was the star of the show today, actually. We were featuring this die, Peekaboo Window 3 die. And I've had it for some time in my stash, but I really had kind of a hard time figuring out how to use it. I've seen it used a million times by other crafters, other people on the design team, and I just struggled. But when this was the focus of the hop, it really made me sit down and say, okay, we can do this. And it's really not a lot different than any other die. You just have to kind of figure out what you want your composition to look like. And I love this little repetition over here. Of course, you can see that I created a shaker. Now, I did use this happy, wait, which one did I use? This happy, and where's the script birthday? Right there. So the happy and the birthday. Can you see those, happy and birthday? And so you can build your own sentiments, and then of course there are other sentiments along there. And I created my shaker wells in the same way. I adhered my acetate, and then I used my double-sided foam tape to create the well. I put my sprinkles in, or my shaker bits, and I used these from Whimsy. Now, I'm not sure exactly which ones I used. I won't even lie. I think it was these. They're called Prism. And then I think it was these, the Ice Sparkle Gems. Let me pull them out. This is only one tray that I have of this calls for confetti. I have another one. They're not quite full. You can see there are a couple spaces, but don't judge me. I kind of have a thing for this calls for confetti, and I understand she's about, she's preparing for another release in early March, so keep an eye out for that. You won't be sad about it. So is that the same one, or is it this one? I think it might be this one, which is Diamond Sparkle. What's that one? That one's diamond as well. So there's a slight difference. This is just, it's just kind of glass-like, whereas this one you can see it has some color refracting off of the prisms. Very pretty. And then this one is just white. It, you know, it has some sparkle and some shine, but it's just pure white. And then there are a bunch of different white ones, as you can see, and I think I have all the white ones, but they all are a little bit different. So this one is completely flat. Okay, this isn't about, this calls for confetti, so I'm going too deep. But I think this is probably my favorite, and you can see that it shines or reflects different colors. There's some pink in there, there's some blue, there's some green, there's some purple. It just kind of depends. And I felt like it picked up a lot of that watercolored background. I just used some shades, different shades of grays and blues just to create that background, and then of course green to create the grass. And let me move these out of the way. I want to show you what I did to create that sentiment. I actually just had excess little circles cut out. Oh, my apologies. So this cuts these circles, and you can see that I have several die cuts and circles still in there. So I used a white one, and then I used a yellow one. I layered them up, and I stamped the happy birthday, and then I used these cute little foliage stamps just to create that little outline. And then I used some more of those sparkle gems to go right there. And that's that card. And again, I will link to the hop. I'll link to my video in the hop, and if you want to hop along, make sure that you comment, subscribe, like, all those things, and that will get you in the running for a $100 gift card from Whimsy Stamps. So, okay, next, and this is what I'm going to focus on the rest of the time. So my sweet neighbor colored up these cute little images from CC Designs. So it's this, I think is it called Breakfast Critters? I don't have the stamp set, so I can't show it to you. If I can put a picture up on the screen in editing, I'll do that for you. But it's this little, I don't know if he's a chipmunk, I don't know if he's a koala, I'm not sure. But he's carrying this big stack, tall stack of pancakes. And then on this side is a little bunny holding a coffee and a donut. And then of course there's this hippo, and he's got a muffin and a coffee. And then on this side there's another bunny, big old donut, and a cup of tea, it looks like. So she actually stamped these out and colored them for me and brought them over last night. And I told her I was going to make tags out of them. And I thought I was going to make like a tag book, like a signature. And I ended up not doing that. But I am in love with these. So I actually used my favorite pastel. I did not know these were watercolor pencils. I can't even lie to you. I just learned that recently, and I've had them for some time. They were gifted to me by a sweet friend. You can see that I've actually used them quite a bit. Love them. Just want to make sure that when you're using any type of watercolor pen or colored pencil, that you keep it sharp. Even if you just need to do a little turn after a couple of colors, just keep that tip really sharp, whether it's watercolor or otherwise. But I just used these. She had used colored pencils, and so I just followed suit, and I just added a little more depth and a little more detail. That's all I did. She really did all the hard work. Just added some shading and some highlights and things. And I really still kind of want to go back and use some white gel pen, but I think they're adorable. And then I found these gel plate prints in my stash. This is one of them. This is the one that I created this card or this tag with, and I don't have any more of this one. But these were both gel plate prints that I considered fails, essentially. I had too much paint down, it's too globby, you know, I just wasn't very happy with them. But as I've said before, I throw very little away. So I pulled them out of my stash this morning and I said, I'm going to use them, I'm going to make them work. So I had these tags, I repurposed these tags. These tags came, they're just manila tags, and they came with some gifts from a friend in Sweden at Christmas time. So I've repurposed them by simply adhering the gel plate print down to the tag, and it actually only went to here. So that's why I created these little toppers. Now I just pulled some white scraps out of my stash and I glued them on. I used another pair of my decorative scissors to create that fun little zigzaggy scallop, and then I used that Elegant Rider again just to make some fun details around the edges. This is kind of a stitching, this is more of just a wonky line around the edges. But yeah, I thought that was really cute, and it was a really easy way to create the toppers, and it adds a little more brightness, a little more contrast, because these are both pretty dark gel plate prints. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, but I wanted even more contrast. So I came in with this fun stencil from Lavinia. I love my Lavinia stencils. Again, most of them were gifted to me by the same friend that gifted me these pencils and some more. Very generous, very sweet, very kind. Let me pull some of this out of here so that it doesn't get too busy on screen for you. So I used this texture paste. It is a crackle, it's an opaque crackle from Ranger, and I just laid them out after I already had them adhered, and I just did a quick swipe of the texture paste through the stencil. I could not even tell you how I had them lined up, but it was very fun. So I did one side, let them dry, flipped them over, did the other side. You can see how this side has more the larger circles. This side has more the smaller circles, and you can see that there's a lot of imperfections. I like that when I'm stenciling. This little smudge, things like that, that was not on purpose, that I don't like, but I ran with it. If I don't point things out, most of us won't even see them, so I just keep rolling. And I have this new coffee cup die set from Whimsy that I just fell in love with, and I really just wanted to incorporate them somehow with these little breakfast buddies, or breakfast critters, or whatever they're called. I'm not even sure, I won't lie. But again, CC Designs, and I will try to have at least a photo, if not a link. Apologies, I needed a drink again. But yeah, very fun. I can't figure out which side I like the best. I just think they're cute. They're just kind of random, you know, there's not really a plan into the arrangement or anything. I just wanted to make sure that I had a cup and a critter on each side. Now, these cups are so easy to make and they're absolutely adorable. Now, I've done so much and I have so much all over my workspace that I've actually lost the star die. Hopefully it resurfaces. This is my first time using it, so I'm hoping that it surfaces. I've gone through my trash a couple times, but this is the cup. This is, of course, the little cardboard wrapper. This is the lid, and this is the heart embellishment, and this is another little, it's like a teacup, similar to what little man is holding there. So I think they're really, really cute, and I just, from scraps, I cut the cardboard wrapper out of the same gel plate print that I made the tags from, and then I did a little bit of coloring with my OLOs just to add some depth and some shadow. And then of course I say of course, but I don't know if you can tell or not, I use this stamp. Again, it's from Tim Holtz. Can't remember the name of the set that it's with. I just leave this on my desk because I use it so much. But I just added a little bit of grunginess to the cup and to the top of the tag. I did it on the heart there. And I just added it in different places just to kind of fill in some of that white and add some more interest and detail. So that is what I did there, and I had a good time. And like I said, I used that elegant writer to make the outlines on each tag, as well as to do kind of some of that detail on the heart and the star. I don't know what to call it. I guess it's detail. So those are super fun. I had a really good time with those, and then I went a little wacky with the dies. So let me set those aside. Now on these I have not colored any of them, but I'm just going to show you what I've made. Let me put these away before I show you all my littles. Now these are just the coffee cups. I've not made them into tags or put them on cards. You could do any number of things with them, but I just pulled out some scraps. And so this one actually is, it's a little flip open, so you could put a hole punch right there and you could make it a tag. It could be like a gift tag. I just think it's cute. And of course I didn't put anything there, so there's room for a sentiment there. There's room for additional stamping, whatever you might want to do. Now this one it's just reverse, right? I feel like that beautiful card or pattern paper gets to stand out a little bit more. And same thing. And I actually I didn't add anything on the back of that one, but this one I did. I added some more. The same thing, the lid and then the cardboard wrapper. This is the same, except on this one I have the lid popped up. This one is glued straight down. And then I also have the little heart detail. These are both glued straight down on the back. So those are those. And then this one is another one that the cup is the pattern paper. And then I die cut the star out of the cardboard wrap. And then I just adhered it right there. I didn't want to lose it. So, and again, all of these open, and it has space for you to do something on the inside if you wanted to write a sentiment, if you wanted to do a to from, whatever you might want to do in there. And then these are a little more rustic. So this actually was the first one that I did, and I think it might be my favorite. So I just had some craft cardstock. I created 2 of the tags, and then I cut out 2 of the lids and adhered them on, and then with this cardboard wrap I actually popped it up on some foam tape, and I went around the edges again with my OLOs. Which one was it? I think it was this one. And then I used the colorless blender to kind of blend it out a little bit, and I did the same on the tags as well. I used the warm grays on the tags, and then I used the colorless blender to blend it out so it wasn't quite so stark. So this one again is a tag that you can open and shut. This one is not, but this one has this same pattern paper. Now this pattern paper was repurposed again from the same person who sent me these tags from Sweden. This beautiful pattern paper was wrapped around a gift, and I knew I had to keep it and repurpose it, so these will make me think of her every time. And this little trim, can you see that little brown scallop? That was You know what? I think it was like a banner die. And I had used the rest of the paper. In fact, I die cut these out of that same paper, and then I had that pretty scallop along the edge and I didn't want to lose it. So I cut out my little coffee cup lid, and then I adhered the scallop to the back of it, and then I popped it all up so it has some dimension. And of course the cardboard piece has the dimension as well. But I love that wood, that kind of wood paneling, the salvaged wood. I love that look. And then this one is just a white lid. As you can see, I turned my die in a different dimension or different orientation, and I think it's really cute, and they're both popped up. Now this one, the only place you have the pattern paper is on the cap and the heart, and I thought that was really cute. So variations on a theme with all of those, and I thought they were so fun. I really wanted to share them with you. And then I had this, oh, excuse me for reaching across you. Let me see if I can get it all in here. I want to make at least one with you. So I had, it's all spilled in my process here. I had this beautiful pattern paper die cut from Valentine's Day. I was going to try to do some shabby chic, and most of it's double-sided. I think that plaid is adorable. I love this polka dot. Let me see what's on the back side. I think it's a floral. Yep, it's a heart floral, heart wreaths. And then this is not double-sided, it's just one-sided. But very, very pretty. So let me scoot these out of the way, and I'll show you how easy they are to put together. If it goes really fast, I might make more than one, but as always, I want to be respectful of your time. So I tried to keep everything together, have all the light pieces together, and I'm going to mix and match because it's shabby chic, right? Now I'm not going to pull out any laces. I'm not going to go that into detail. I would love to, and I might do it off screen, but I'm not going to do that right now while we're here together. So with this pattern paper, because the pattern is large, so I was able to cut like some little pieces that were just the floral, some that were just the polka dot. Here's a cup that's mostly just the polka dot. This one I really wanted to capture that floral. I thought that was pretty. So not really sure how I'm gonna do that. It might just be a cup with no cardboard piece, and that's okay. And then I have just a bunch of white pieces as well, and we'll use them as we need them. So I'll just set those over here. Super easy, super cute. Let me make sure I have all my pieces and parts in the same spot. So you know what, how about we start with this floral? I think that's what I want to do. Now where is my tape? I don't have it handy. It's probably under something, but that's okay. We'll use this one. So this one is 1/4 inch instead of 1/8 of an inch, but it will work. So I think with this one, because I really want to maintain this beautiful floral, do I want to put a white, just a white, to make that pop a little more? I think so. I think if I use the polka dot, it just blends in too well. If I use the plaid, I don't think it pops as well. And if I use the polka dot, that makes it pop a little bit better, but I'm just feeling the white right now, I think. I think that kind of sets it off. It draws your eye to the floral without making your eye feel like it's wanting to go more than one place. So for this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to add this little lid. I almost always use a little bit of liquid glue because I need that wiggle room, because rest assured I will need to move it. I will need to move it. Who's with me there? Do you guys usually get your pieces down in one fall swoop, or do you have to have that wiggle room? So all right, and there it is, just super cute. Now I could come in with my light grays and do a little bit of that blending. And this is the 0, this is the 1, and again, these are the OLOs, these are the warm grays. So it doesn't do a whole lot, it just gives it a little bit of dimension. And so if it's too harsh, you just go in and blend it out again. Now I'm not using the blender pen, but that's definitely an option too. So I'm just going to come in all down the edges, just show you how I do. Just creates a little bit of dimension, and as you're doing it, it kind of feels like you're doing something wrong, or at least it does for me. And then I come back in again. Now that's just the W warm gray 1 and warm gray 0. Now you could come in with your 3 and your 5 if you wanted to give it a little bit more dimension, but to me that just made it look dirty, so I didn't want that. I just wanted there to be some shadow, especially up under the cap. And there it is. So that's what this is what it looks like without the coloring, and that's what it is with it. So just very subtle, not a whole lot, but I think that's really cute. Really cute. So how about we use one of these? Do we want to make it a back-to-back? Do we want to do that? I'll show you how I do it. We can. So I take my little scoreboard, and this one's kind of wonky, so that'll be the back. Do you see what I mean by it being wonky? See how the plaid is crooked? So I usually so this of course is the top of the cap, or the bottom of the cap right here, this little line right here. So I go right under that. So I just line it up, make sure it's as straight as I can make it, just kind of eyeballing it, but still I want it to be straight as it can be. And then I just come in, I follow the grooves right along where I want it to be. And I don't expect to be doing anything heavy duty with these, so I'm just using liquid glue. If you thought you were gonna, you know, do something that required them to be stronger, you could always use like a tear tape or a tear-it, something like that. So it's gluing together, and it's interesting that these line up so well, because sometimes you'll have to turn your paper over and then die cut it so that you have the back side. But look, this has that pretty floral on the inside. Now you want to make sure you burnish it if your paper's thicker, so, and that way it'll just fold up nice and neat. And I think I want to just use a white cap on this one too, but I might use the floral for the cardboard piece. So I think I just want to use the white, and I think I'm going to just adhere it straight down. I'll just let the patterns do the talking, because I think they're so cute, very pretty. And then what do you think? Do you like the polka dot? Or do you like this little floral guy? I think I like the floral guy. Or we could just go with plain white and then put, I don't have any other floral bits, I don't think. Oh, I could put that polka dot heart. No, it needed to be floral, huh? And I don't have a floral piece cut out. Or we could just come in and bring that. Oh, I think I like that. I think that wins. See, and don't be afraid of changing your plan, because my plan was to use that floral and to have that, you know, mix of patterns and sizes, you know, because the plaid is a little bit smaller than the floral, and then of course the polka dot is teeny tiny, so you'd be mixing up small with a bigger and then a smaller with a bigger, if that makes any sense. And I'm not going to pop any of these up on foam tape. I'm going to adhere them straight down. But I think that is super cute. What do you guys think? I feel like the white just really grounds everything, and it allows those areas where you can see the plaid. I think it just allows them to pop. Now you could come in and give it some highlight and or some shadows again, but I am just going to leave it. And if you wanted to, you could put a piece of white paper in the middle on the inside. You could do another one of those on the inside so you have a place to write. But you would want to use white just so you have a place to write. Or just use a dark pen and go over it. I think that would work just fine. So there's two already. How about we take this guy? We'll make one with him. How about that? What do you guys think of that? And then maybe a heart down here. Yep, okay. I say that wins. I can be totally honest and say that I don't usually make my decisions quite this fast, but trying to be respectful of your time has got me like Johnny on the spot with my decision making. I kind of like it. Normally I waffle a little bit and it can take me hours to do something relatively small. Now I'm not putting a backer on this one. You could make it just white. I have these extra white ones. I could do that, but I'm not going to for this one. I like that. I am going to pop this guy up a little bit. I just like that idea. And then the heart will be popped up as well. Let me just go ahead and, because the heart's going to be white, right? Yep. Put a little bit of foam tape there. I have these little scraps sitting on my tape. Just snip it. I can't find my tweezers, which truly are one of my most used tools, so it's kind of a hardship not having them. And normally I would use a thicker tape here as well, but this is what I have out, so this is what we're rolling with today. And I'm not going to be overly heavy with it, but I do want to make sure that it's sturdy, if that makes sense. Let me move this guy down a little. I don't want to give it any opportunity to kind of cave in, you know what I mean? All right. So we'll pull these off. Thank you guys for sticking with me while I do these. I really wanted to share it with you how cute they are and how quick they go together. And you can use them in any context, really. If you're a coffee person, or if you want to make something for a coffee person, these are a really, really cute way to do that, to show them that you love them, that you're thinking of them, your appreciation. You can include them with a gift card or just a thinking of you card, or, you know, there's sentiments that say love you a latte. Those are really popular. Oh, and you know what? I need to take part of that tape off because I only need it to stick up or to be adhered there a little bit of the way, because this guy's already popped up. Just make sure I know what I'm doing here. I get my orientations confused. Like when things get turned around, my brain just is like, it cramps. It has to think in abstract ways that it just doesn't like. So, all right, so you see I just have a little bit of tape there because the top part of it is going to be on that. And I want it to kind of hang over the edge just a little bit. But I think that's really, really cute. And look, I have enough to make 3 more. So definitely could keep it going. So this could be on one, could be on that one, that could be on that one. So these are the 3 I just made. Let me clean up a little bit and I'll show you what my other options still are that I'm not going to do with you now, but you may see them online. So these are the cuties that we just did. And then I think for this, I like the idea of putting that green polka dot because it pulls that little bit of green out of there. And I like that pink polka dot with that one because it's just really slight. And then I like the solid white there. And then I think a solid white heart there. And I think a pink polka dot there. And I think another solid white on this polka dot. Or maybe even nothing. You know, I could just leave it. Or you could do just a really, really light pink ink blend around those edges so that it stands out. But look, you got 3 more sitting there waiting to be used, waiting to be loved. Or if you didn't want to use that white one, you could use this green polka dot so it pulls in the green from the lid. Or you could pull this over here on this one, and then you've got all 3 of the different patterns. So many options. So many options. And then I'm forgetting the stars. Like, I'm not incredibly sad that I lost the star, only because the heart is more my speed. I love the little heart too. It's super, or the little star. It's super cute. Forgive my grocery list on my hand. We'll go this way. Super cute. And I love the way that it cuts those things out, the different patterns. But there's just something about that heart. It has that kind of prim, long, skinny shape to it that I really like. So, all right, guys. So these will go back in the wings, wait to be created. But for now, these are my fun little tags. These are our cards that we put together today. These are some of the others that I already made. Let me see if I can reach across you again. I'm so sorry. That's the Saturday Morning Makes hashtag. I'll make sure you can see that in case you're interested. We'd love it if you wanted to join with us. I say we like I've been a long time member. This is only, I don't know, I've only been doing it a couple weeks, but I really, really am enjoying myself. Okay. And then this is the one that has the hop that's going on right now. And this is the one that I did for Whimsy last week. And if you want, I can, well, I'll go ahead and link it anyway, because you're not able to tell me if you want. I'll go ahead and do it. So those are my shares for today, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to spend some time with you, and thank you for spending some time with me. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And until next time, guys, we'll see you hopefully next week for hashtag #SatMoreMakes. And I pray that you all have a great week. Thanks. Whew. Okay, guys, goodness, this was a long one. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you are hearing my voice right now, I want to reward you. Just like last week, we did a little bit of a giveaway, and I would like to do the same this week. So if you will put down in the comments hashtag #TinyCoffee, that will put you in the running for the little coffee cups that I showed here today, not the tags or the coffee cups on the tags, but all the other tags that I showed, or the coffee cups that I showed, as well as a coffee cup die set. I'm going to give away the die set as well. So again, put that hashtag downstairs, hashtag #TinyCoffee. Let me know what you liked, what you disliked. Are these too long? Do you like longer ones? Tell me. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. I always appreciate your support, and make sure you use that hashtag #SatMoreMakes so that you can see what everybody else has to share. Thanks, guys. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Until next time, mwah, I'm out.